Welcome back, everyone, to another episode. And today's episode, we will be having a look at A Secret Level. It's an Amazon Prime, I guess, production. And so, I'm going to go about this is I will rate each episode, and then I will also give an overall rating after watching all of the episodes and giving them their rating to give you the average on if it's worth watching the whole entire thing or not, or if just specific episodes are good to watch. So yeah, so that's how I'm going to rate this one. So the first episode we're going to take a look at is the Dungeon and Dragon episode. So basically I'm going to give it about a 2 out of 10 in the normal category. I don't know, for some reason I wasn't captivated by the story. It seemed kind of janky. It didn't flow very well. But the animation was great and everything, but it just, I don't know, it seemed out of place for some weird reason. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but this one wasn't that great. So yeah, that's the mark I'm going to give it for now, the Dungeons and Dragon one. For the second episode, we'll be looking at Sifu. Sifu is another one that felt out of place. Like, this story didn't, like, we already know the game, but it didn't really inspire me to want to watch it, because once you know the game, it's not necessary for you to retell the story via an animation. I thought they were going to go about telling a different, not even a different version, but maybe a better way to make the game or the story come across better. I don't know. It was another one that just felt out of place and didn't fit right. But again, I guess if you're starting a series, maybe you putting not the greatest ones in the beginning is a good idea. I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, it didn't come off very well and it didn't captivate me or anything of the sort. The animation was still good, but all in all, I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 10 in the normal category. Okay, so now we'll be taking a look at New World episode 3, and personally I found it to be worse than the 2 previous ones. I found it was pretty annoying. There was nothing really interesting about it. It made me not even care about playing the video game to some degree. Like, it felt like, okay, I've seen this before, it doesn't matter. Like, it was one of those repetitious kind of things that was like, yeah, okay, I'm bored already. Like, I didn't care for it. So yeah, I'm gonna be giving it a 7 out of 10 in the shit category. So we'll be looking at the episode Unreal Tournament, Zan. I personally found this was probably the best out of what I've seen so far. There was an actual story, the animation was really well done, the characters were well done, everything, the narrative and all that kind of stuff was well done. I personally think this is probably their best episode so far. It felt good to watch. It felt like there was something behind it. And yes, so this one I will definitely be giving it an 8 out of 10 in the must-watch category. It is definitely a superb episode to watch. It had something behind it. It felt like something was there, something you can latch on to. So yeah. Okay, so we'll be having a look at episode 5, which is the Warhammer 40k episode. And I am quite impressed by this episode also. It has so much behind it. It made me want to play the game. It was impressive. I was captivated by the story, even though it's short and it's very simplistic. It was well done. Everything was worthwhile. It was pretty impressive, I would admit. So yes, this one will definitely be getting an 8 out of 10 in the must-watch category. It is so well done. It is impressive. So yes. So we'll be looking at episode 6, which is Pac-Man. And I have to admit, it's a very cool spin on the idea of Pac-Man. And the story was good. Everything was pretty good. The animation was good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Just the mere fact that they took such a crazy, drastic spin on the story was great for me. I enjoyed it. They created an imaginary world compared to what we know of Pac-Man, and it was well done. So for this one, I will be giving it 3 out of 10 in the must-watch category. It was well done. It was captivating. It was good. It was good. So yeah. All right, for episode 7 called Crossfire, I will be giving it 5 out of 10 in the normal category. It's decent, it's reasonable, it's within the parameters of what you expect. So it's somewhat enjoyable, but story wasn't interesting to say the least. But it was pretty good, well animated. The characters were good, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, 5 out of 10 in the normal category. Let's have a look at number 8. Episode 8 is Armored Core, and I'm gonna give it 7 out of 10 in the must watch category. It's well animated, fairly decent little story and all that kind of stuff. Characters were great. The intro to the universe, if you're just watching the movie for the first time, is pretty decent. It's pretty I guess intense, so it might spike your curiosity. So yes, so this one is a definite watch for the season. Okay, so for episode 9, it's Outer Worlds. Now the story is pretty decent. The outcome somewhat predictable, but overall it's a pretty decent story, well animated. The characters are well done, decent. It isn't very captivating, but it's still fun to watch. So I'm gonna be giving it a fairly reasonable score of 6 out of 10 in the normal category. Episode 10 is Mega Man, and I found it okay. It wasn't really captivating. The story was okay. Kind of plays kind of like slow and boring, but it's okay. So I will be giving it probably a 3 out of 10 in the normal category. So yeah. So episode 11 is Exodus. Now, surprisingly enough, this is a really well done story. It is pretty amazing. I have nothing to complain about. I would personally say if it wasn't for Warhammer and Unreal Tournament, like this would have been the top of the top. So I am gonna give this one an 8 out of 10 in the must watch category. Like this is a really well created story and all that kind of stuff. Superb. Okay, so episode 12 is Spelunky. Eh, I don't know what to say. It kind of felt okay. Like it didn't really spike my interest or anything of the sort. It was all right. So I will be giving it I guess a 3 out of 10 in the normal category. Next on the chopping board is episode 13, Concord, and it is well animated, kind of boringish kind of story, but the twist is pretty cool. Overall, it's a decent episode, so I will be giving it about a 4 out of 10 in the normal category. So episode 14, Honor of the King, or Kings, sorry, is okay, predictable, boring, wasn't that amazing. So I will be giving it 2 out of 10 in the normal category. Next will be episode 15. I think it's the last one. So basically, it's called Playtime. Now, it's a dedication to Sony PlayStation, and I'm perfectly fine with that. The story wasn't there. It was bleh. It was okay, whatever. It didn't really do anything for me. I've played most of the games that they had in their little showcase or whatever, so it was okay. The story was meh. Still, eh. So I will be giving this one a 2 out of 10 in the normal category for the last episode of the season, which is surprising because I figured they would go all out for the last episode for their secret level, but they didn't. But yeah, That's the score. Okay, so the overall score that I will be giving secret level will probably be uh I would say like a 7 out of 10 in the normal category, due to the fact that they only had like what, about 4 episodes that were really good and worthwhile captivating, while all the rest were somewhat like mediocre to like kind of like meh kind of thing. So overall, yeah, that would be the score out of it. 7 out of 10 in the normal category. But it was still pretty decent to watch those 4 episodes that were the best out of their whole collection. So yeah.